Visa is the next stock I'm buying. In this video, I'm going to tell you why, from a fundamentals and technical standpoint, why this is a good stock to own for both the short term and the long term. Spoiler alert, short term for the technicals, long term for the fundamentals. In case you guys don't know, Visa is a credit card company. They are in the payments business, pretty much the largest company in the world to be doing this, valued at $486 billion right now. They're just a massive company, closing in on $500 billion. They are one of the biggest companies in the world. That is a key fundamental that I actually really like. These big companies just means they are solid. They don't move a whole lot unless you're named Tesla. Tesla is really the only stock out there that is both huge and moves a ton. So any given day, this stock might move a couple of percent. It's not a big mover. Now, that said, they just reported earnings last week, and they did have a huge day on Friday because the street really liked their earnings. They were up something like 10% last Friday, and they have been going up ever since. I will get into that soon. But one of the things I wanted to show you guys on the CNBC kind of landing page for Visa is the Analyst consensus and trends right here. There are 41 analysts that cover Visa, and look at this, only 3 of them have a hold, none of them have a sell, none of them have an underperform, right? So you're talking about 38 out of 41 have either a buy or a strong buy rating. That's a lot of analysts to be covering one stock, and that is a vast majority saying buy this stock, right? Not only that, the average price target of these analysts is $270. 270, excuse me, while this stock is currently trading at 230. So they're saying there is, on average, a $40 upside on a $230 stock. So that's really good upside for such a huge stock going forward. And the reason why is this company just turns out a ton of profit. They are extremely profitable. They have a ton of revenue and a ton of net income. Jumping over into TradingView, you can see these little bars right here show the quarterlies, right? Look at this orange line right here. It says profit margin, 54% this last quarter they reported. 54% profit margin is insane, especially when you're doing it on such massive revenue, like $7 billion of revenue that they reported in that quarter, right? So you're basically saying, half of this revenue is pure profit. So they are really just taking in money, and that is great for investors, right? Stockholders, you want to see the profits coming in. So that's a big reason why this company has grown to nearly $500 billion, right? And it's actually been going up in 2022 when most stocks have been going down. So let's look at that. I want to show you guys the technicals. There are a couple of chart patterns here that I've been looking at on this chart for a little while now. And one is pointing, the most recent one is pointing to huge upside potential in the very short term, probably over the next somewhere between week to a couple of weeks. So I wanted to bring that to your attention, get your thoughts on it. Leave a comment down below, what you guys think about this chart pattern. What do you think about Visa going forward? Are you a long-term investor or short-term trader? I'm going to be a short-term trader on this stock. I might turn into a long-term investor just because I really like the fundamentals here. So let me show you guys what I'm talking about on these chart patterns. If you're kind of a chart pattern person, you may already see it without me even getting into it yet. I am going to be using one of TradingView's new tools, one of their new indicators, where you can just click on a chart pattern and it will find it for you on the chart if it's there. So that's pretty cool. But I'm going to show it to you first, and then we'll see if the indicator finds it as well. Just kind of check, because it's in beta mode right now. We can see if it's accurate or not, right? So the first chart pattern I want to show you is something that has already happened on Visa, and then we'll get into the one that is happening right now that shows us the upside potential. So back here, let me get my brush. We had a head and shoulders pattern play out on Visa, and this was started forming around the beginning of 2021, and it played out all the way through pretty much the entirety of 2021. So let's start right here. We have a left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder, right? And this is bearish. This is a head and shoulders pattern, and it points to the downside. You come up, test this blue line, which we call the neckline, and then it drops like a rock. And that's exactly what happened. It played out pretty much perfectly in this scenario. Excuse me. So we had a head and shoulders pattern, which is bearish, played out perfectly. And now what we have, let me clear that off. Where's my trash can? There we go. And now what we have, let's get that neckline back in there again, is pretty much the exact opposite. It's called an inverse head and shoulders pattern, and I see it right, whoop, didn't want to draw right there, and grab my chart. This is where I see it, guys. Pretty much where that head and shoulders ended, it started forming an inverse head and shoulders. So you got your left shoulder right here, you come up and touch the neckline. You got your head, you come up and touch the neckline. And then you have your right shoulder form. And right now we are breaking through the neckline, right? And there's two things that could play out right here. We could continue to the upside to our price target right now without any retracements, or what's more than likely to happen is we are going to retrace down to this neckline, test it, use it as support, hopefully, right? It acts as support, acts as that floor that we bounce off of and head to the upside. And where I think this is going, my rough guess right now, just looking at this chart before, really kind of measuring everything out really nicely, it looks like it's going to send us right back up to that $250 range where we were at middle of last year in 2021. That was the head of the previous pattern, the head and shoulders pattern. It looks like this inverse head and shoulders pattern is going to have us go straight back up to retest that probably all-time high. I'm guessing this is an all-time high. Yeah, it is. It's an all-time high. So of $250 on Visa. So let's get rid of this yellow brush. I was just using that to kind of estimate everything real quick, and we can actually get a much more precise price target for this. And again, guys, I think this is going to play out over the next probably couple weeks, maybe a month. It depends on how slow this pattern wants to play out. But you can see this head and shoulders pattern back here in 2021 took almost a year to play out. But this one is happening faster. So I think it might take, now that I'm rethinking it, it's probably going to take like something like a month. So I don't think we'll see a ton of action here over the next week. We've already had a huge run up over the last 3 business days. You can see that earnings report was right there 3 business days ago. Last Friday, it was just a massive day, 10% for Visa, which, like I said earlier in the video, is a stock that doesn't move a ton. You get a couple percent per day, so 10% day was massive, and then it's been slowly trickling up since then. So let's get this this neckline nice and precise, and then we will, it's actually already really good right there. I like it right there. Now we can measure out the depth of the head to the neckline to get our price target for the upside potential. It looks like about $34. $34 down to the, let me move this around, let's zoom in. I think we're looking at about $34, but let me grab that and just to be safe. We'll double check. Yeah, looks like $34 is the depth from the bottom of the head to the neckline. Okay, so we're going to use that as our projection to the upside from this neckline right here, right? So we take another ruler, we just measure from that neckline up another $34. See, where does this put us? It puts us right at $259. So that, well, that's about 34. Yeah, so $259 is the upside target. I would say the maximum upside target. Realistically, if I'm going to be playing this, I'm also looking at this all-time high right here as a potential to get out of this trade, and that's at 252. I would expect there to be a little bit of resistance there at that level. That's just pretty natural for stocks to do that. They're going to retest their all-time highs. You might see it kind of bump its head up against that ceiling a little bit, so that would not be a bad spot to get out either. So while the stock chart is pointing to 259, I wouldn't mind getting out at 250 just to lock in those gains. So there is a ton of potential here for the short to medium term on this stock. If you want to be a long-term holder in this stock, that is a great idea as well, just because those fundamentals are so solid. It churns out so much profit. So let me know what you guys think from this video. I did want to show you the indicator, the new indicator in TradingView before I go. If you go to your indicators, click on chart patterns, and then click head and shoulders right here. It will find head and shoulders patterns for you on the stock chart, and look at that. It is showing some head and shoulders patterns, so that's pretty cool. So let me know what you guys think. If you're in Visa, let me know what you think about the company. I'll see you guys in the next video.